Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party, and I'm getting ready to work on my Sunday flashcard builder application. Um, so actually, I guess I should go grab Rhett. I'll be right back. Let me go get her. Right. See everybody, Rhett? You see yourself in there? Alright, let's put you up. I got a nut for her. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. I forgot to get her for my first show, and then she was making pretty sounds out there, which is usually her way of saying, "Hey, I would like to come in and hang out and do the show." But then I forgot to get her on the second one, and so she did it, and I was like, you know what, I should just go grab her and and just show her off. She's a beautiful bird. She does a great job. She talks. She knows so many words, and and she's like a very good like sort of I don't know, almost like a little mirror, like but for voice. You know how like you see yourself in a mirror and you know what you look like and all that, and you can clean yourself up a little bit and look a little bit better. Anytime we start to kind of like our language starts to get a little bit undisciplined, we start using a lot of vulgar terms or something like that, she'll start to put those words together, and then we realize, oh my gosh, we're saying that too much. Um, so she's pretty cool. Anyways, so now I'm moving over to my Sunday flashcard builder. This is the of all the I'm working on a bunch of different applications. One of them is like a media uploader that I sort of just do on my own time and all that. And I don't know, it just gets so complicated that I just sort of give up. I mean, I always work on it, and I'm just always poking at it, but I can't quite figure it out. Um, but and if I could ever get that going, because I think one of the biggest problems, like, there's just so many guys like me running around that are like, that have like a fancy camera, and you take like literally 10,000 pictures, and then you're just like, what do I do with it? There's just so many people like that, and you don't know how to, you can't manage all those pictures in such a way that you can share them effectively because it's just too much. So I would love to build a system that can sort of solve that problem for the average consumer. The problem is it's a consumer level project, and there's just like the amount of money floating around in the consumer part of our economy is so small compared to all the other parts of the economy that it's hard to it's very difficult to actually create an actual working application that works for people, for just regular people. Even affluent people, even people who can afford $1,000 cameras, and then have enough free time to be out taking pictures of stuff. Like, even it's just there's not enough money in those groups of people to make something like that worth doing. So if it's not something that overlaps with something that like businesses want and stuff like that, then it just isn't worth doing. Um, and that's just the reality that we financially worth doing. It's worth doing, like, and so I'm working on it. It just keeps getting more and more complicated, and I don't know what to do. But anyways, so this is my flashcard builder, which is the other one that I think is got a lot of potential to being really useful because I would love to build it out where I can create flashcards and kind of build out a system. And then once I have the flashcards, build another application that knows how to present flashcards and make that useful. But then after that, I could make something that maybe can create crossword puzzles, and then maybe something else that can be like connect the dots. But the problem is what you need that foundational set of data. Like you need that foundational set of learning data before you can start the process. And um, so that's what this thing is. This is supposed to be sort of the seed of all that. And then once I can generate a nice set of flashcards, then I could kind of get that format and feed it to ChatGPT and just be like, hey, can you make me flashcards of all the um, uh, what is their essential amino acids? I think they're called all the essential amino acids. Okay, make me flashcards of all of the elements on the periodic table. Make me a flashcards of all the planets around the sun that rotate around the sun, all the continents. Anything from like little things, all the countries in the world. Right? There's so many things that you can make flashcards for, and ChatGPT, if you give it the right format, can just generate all those for you, and then you have them, and then you can learn, you can memorize all that stuff, and that's the dream. And then you start feeding those into all these various things, and then you're good. So let's go over here to this thing. Let's close this. Let's hit reload, and here it is. I think this is beautiful. And now what we have to do, I can never remember. I only work on these once a week. It will probably go to twice a week because I think my Say Hello project will probably be done in the next 5 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. And once that Say Hello project is done, then I can move on to my um, then this can be a 2 day a week thing every Saturday and Sunday, which would be really nice. All right, so we want to get the prompt for clear working, right? So for prompt, so we have two sides. I'm coming up to see what you're watching is me getting to speed. We have the prompt side, which is this side, and we have the response side, which is this side. And what I want to do is get this to work. If I remember correctly, I think we got the append. What happens is you can click this and it can go to overwrite or append. And if it's an overwrite, it's going to take whatever is in there and just overwrite it. And if it's append, it's just going to add whatever is in there. And like this won't be here when we're done. These won't be here. These are all just this is just scaffolding. This is just stuff so that we can see what's happening. And this is really cool. Like you can just click this thing and start the microphone up, right? So it listens, it'll ask you, or if you've already previously used it, it will tell you, it'll just work. But I push this button and then I say allow this time. I always say allow this time instead of allow while visiting the site because if you click this, then it'll always just work. And if when I'm actually just using this thing, I'll probably click this. But during dev, I like to be able to always work the exact same way. You notice it's got the little yellow thing there. And then, all right, so I'm just gonna say like, uh, which element is the second element on the periodic table? And then I believe that's helium. So that'll be the answer. Which element is the second element on the periodic table? And that did not do it. Oh, because you have to click this select prompt. Right now it doesn't know what I'm using. Now it's probably recording everything we just did. That's funny. Oh, because you don't have to pick select prompt right now. And so now it's just appending things, right? And this is not what we want. So let's try it again. Let's change it to overwrite. Which element is the second element on the periodic table? All right, so now we're over on the response. So we're done with this one and all that. And I don't think this one works. Yeah, so this one does not work. Um, But the idea is that you would select a prompt, you'd select a response, so then you'd create select prompt, select rods, and then when you hit this create, it would actually create a JSON and probably in an array. And so then you can clear and create another response and so on and so forth. And then you got like a handful of them. And then you can export that into a CSV or a JSON, probably. I'll probably allow either. So I might even add another button like export JSON, export CSV. And then um, an import so that you can upload those same ones. So that's the overall idea, is that you would be able to import, export, create them, interact with them, select one of them, and it shows up here so you can modify it and it would modify it in place and all that. And once all that's done, then we'll have a good system for creating. But what we don't have is a way to clear these things. And I don't think you should have to be in prompt mode to clear. So I should be able to clear right now. And I should be able to change this to like append or overwrite. So it would be kind of, I guess we might even want a prepend as well. Because like right now, I would like to say question which element. Now this also, like, I thought this would be a better one for um, this continuous. So voice comes in two flavors. Listening comes into two flavors. One is discrete and one is continuous. And we're using continuous right now. So it's continuously recording. That is why our little record button is still, because right now it's still recording and all that. And it should, theoretically, should be writing into here, but I haven't coded that yet. But so anyways, the goal is for this button to actually clear this. And all of these are in their own little, they have their own little state. So this has a state and this has a state. And so anyways, we want to update the clear, right? So this is I'm trying to come up to speed on this architecture really quick. I know I'm not happy with the way I did this. I'm happy with the way I did it because I learned a lot, but I'm not happy with it because they really probably should be the same component and just like extended from each other or via configuration. It works different, but I made them two separate components. Like I said, I'm glad I did it, um, but this is what I'm working on. So I like doing this. This is my little rebellion because I'm not allowed to use emojis at work. So this is how I rebel. Um, a little bit of rebellion in our life is kind of important, I think. All right, so we have this. We should have an effect, I would guess. Now the prompt, does it have its, I don't know if prompt, I don't know. Okay, see, prompt does not have its own controls, right? So these are the controls. So this control has to communicate up the line to so let's go to our gather controls. It will have a gather controls publish service. So this is probably where that would happen. Good. My bird loves to bark at the dogs. The dogs are barking right now. And then all right, so this is sending our commands, and our commands. Okay, so that's right. So right now we have that's our husky. I don't know if you can hear. That, my friends, is what a husky sounds like. They don't bark. They just kind of do this mewling. And so all the rest of the dogs will be barking away, and the husky will just be like. All right, so we have a gather control method, but I don't. That feels wrong. So I guess we want to have like a, basically like this, we want to have like a clear message. And the problem is the clear message is just one thing, right? It's just clear. So it doesn't, generally the way most of this code likes to work is it likes to see that there's a name, a number that came, and or it likes to see that there was like something that changed. But we have one message is to clear things. So, but all it needs to know is that a new clear message came in, right? Writable signal. And this is going to be a number. So literally it's just the number of times that clear has been called. And then this is a signal. And it's just a number and it's zero, right? We've never crowned it, and we can highly, um, we can do that. We can use TypeScript to do that, to ensure that this knows it's just a number. I mean, it is a bit redundant and all that, but for some strange reason, it gives me some peace. Now, what I've been doing lately is making this a read only, and then um, over here, I'll be like, and we put an under, like a little underscore in front of it. And then I believe we do another read only. Oh, and I believe this needs to be a private. So that means nothing outside of this. Like we've told Angular that we don't want anything outside of this updating that. That's really what we've done. Doesn't mean it can't happen because JavaScript is very, very flexible, but so there's maybe a way to do it. But so this is, and I cannot remember how to do this. I can't remember how to do that. And I have some old chat GPTs that I might be able to go back and find it. And I have found that the way my brain works, right? Like however you grew up and however it's going to affect the way you remember things. But the way my brain works, the harder I have to look, the more likely I am to remember it. There we go. This is what we want. We want this angular signal pattern. Is open signal false. So yeah, this is what we did. We got that one right. What we didn't get it right was this one. So we want to say that's a signal, it's a number, and this as read only. And we're making it a capital signal. So writable signals can be written to. Regular signals cannot be written to. Um, so this is signal, and it's also a number, and it is equal to underscore clear message count dot as read only, like that. I think that's what we want to do. And now it's upset because, oh, okay, because we named it the same name twice. So this is our public one. This is our private one. That is just a very old, very, very old naming convention. I feel like this naming convention of internal things being underscore and external things being not underscore is like something that I saw like literally back in the 90s. And it was probably even before that. It's probably like a C thing. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's from like the 60s or the 70s. Um, which I didn't start coding till like 1979, and it was like in basic language, so we don't really have. I don't. They didn't even have the concept of objects or anything like that. All right, so when I click this, it should want to bring it in from core. I think that's also one of those things that I've found to be very, very mentally positive and healthy for you, is to guess where this is going to come from, and then it's really nice if you're right. And if you're wrong, then it gives you something like you've just found like a little hole in your knowledge. All right, so we have our clear message count. We say clear message. Now, again, the thing that's really interested interesting to me is that this, or the thing I just really have to keep reminding myself is that this prompt here, TS, has its own gather controls publish provider. And this response also has its own gather publish provider. This is kind of new, right? Like I've only been doing this for like less than a month. Um, and so this guy, like when anything that gets added to this starts asking for information, the injector is going to climb something called the injection tree, and it's going to find it here at this response. So it won't look any higher than this because it found it as a provider here. And understanding that can really, A, give you a lot of like flexibility, things that you can do that you wouldn't be able to do. And B, can make it a lot easier to debug things. Now, I know there's like another, like an update or something like that. And then I don't remember exactly how to do this. I think this is how you do it. No. Okay, so I have this signal. I can't remember. I think there was a, okay, update. Oh, maybe it's, oh, that's okay. You give it a function like that, and let's say that's count. And then and then what'll happen is, and I can't remember because I know you can also do, and I believe this means something different, but I don't know if it makes a difference in signals. This means like in update it before something, and this I can't even remember. This means after something. But, ooh, control minus. I hit control plus plus, not shift plus, not shift plus plus. All right. So now we get a clear message anytime, or it gets published anytime somebody calls this. So we want to call this from our prompt. Now, had I made prompt and response like the same function, I wouldn't have to, I'm gonna have to recode this for prompt. That was a mistake, right? Like that was a mistake for sure, but it was a really good mistake. So over here, no, over here is where we want to actually set it in our gatherer, right? So if they, oh, wait, clear information. Gatherer controls, increment, clear count. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. So I probably already have that. Go to implementations. Okay. So we actually already coded this. So that was just so I have a gather controls service. That's the name of this, gather controls publish service. Okay, so, oof. What in the world? Okay, so this is my gather controls. I call this controls publish service. Does prompt have a copy of gather controls? So gather controls publish service does not look, no, no. Oh yeah, that's gather controls. What is going on? Why did I just build all that out? Gather controls. Okay, so let's go here. Oh my goodness. Incorrect clear count. Okay, so clear command count update. And then I ended up creating another one called clear message count. Clear command count. Oh, that's this guy right here. Okay, so that's good. What I will do instead, and I don't know, this is probably a mistake. Every time I ever do this, this is a mistake, but I want to see what the mistake is. So we want to do it this way. And then I want to get rid of this guy completely. And I don't know why it has a problem. Oh, okay. So this is clear command count, and I didn't do the underscore, which is a little bit different. And then we don't need this. All right. So now we're using that, but we did add a clear, and I guess I should make this command. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Make that an underscore. Make this an underscore. Make this an underscore. And then I'm going to rename it to clear command count. Let's see if we broke anything. I don't think we broke anything with that. All right. And then I kind of like to have space in there so that I can see that I did this. Now, I do have a clear command count. Am I listening to the clear command count? I don't think. Do not think I'm listening inside of the prompt for the clear command count. Okay, so basically, and I don't like this at all. I don't like having this kind of code in here. I like branches over, I mean, functions over branches. So I'd rather this just get called. But it looks like I have a console log in there that I probably don't need anymore. Okay, so this gets called right now by this, the the current command. So that's the whether we're doing append or maybe it might be whether we're doing publish or not. I can't remember. And then or whether we're doing prompt or not prompt. And then we have our current control command. Okay, so this is our control command. So this is whether we're like in append or overwrite. This must be whether we're in prompt or not. And then this is the information that comes from the microphone. So I don't know what to think of this. It does not feel right to me. Feels like there would be a huge improvement. But let's put our little phone here. So this is what we put whenever we have something that is going to be affected, and then we don't really care what the actual um, let's see, is it the command publish service? We don't actually care what the value is. We just want to know that it changed. Okay, so oh wait, was it it's the gatherer controls. Okay, so it's this guy right here is what we want. Oh, controls. Yeah, once we saw that it was controls, it's weird that it's called, oh, because they're both considered gatherers. I don't know if I like that concept or not. It seems like, even now that I kind of have regathered, oh, okay, the prompt and the name, if I was going to name the prompt and in one if I was going to name those components as one component that I was just going to extend or something, then I would have named it a gather. I feel like that's a good one. All right, this gather. So now that runs, and that's good. All right, so when we clear, so this guy knows that it's been cleared, right? Oh, we do care about the number, actually. Do we? Yeah, we do care. See, the problem is that all of these, this is one of the tricks to signals. All of these things are, um, will fire off all of this code. Any one of these changes causes all of this to fire. And okay, so this is updates the if we're in prompt, then it would update it, but only if it was already in prompt. So when you first goes to prompt, it won't do it, but then it'll set the previous command. But we need the clear count, and so we're gonna end up rewriting, literally completely rewriting this code inside of the gather, which is inside of the response, which is just a blatant violation of dry, right? Like it's just like in your face. I know I'm doing this wrong, um, but equals 0. So we don't have to. I have no idea why they ever did this, but it would have been. Actually, I'm just going to do it the way I want to do it. Number. It's easy enough to remove those. You know, like this is a very safe thing. Like even if you pick this habit up at work and then the linter nails you every time, um, it's so much easier. You can just remove those without any fear. Okay, so now we're going to say const current count. So this is the current count. And if the current count is greater than the recorded account, is greater than um, this dot clear count, then we're going to want to take everything in our array and wipe it out. I think we have an array, right? I believe we have an array with all the. How do we know what's in the script? Okay. Okay, so our transmission signal. So, okay, so this is kind of a bummer. I've never really, okay, so actually current voice text, I think is what we want. All right, so let's see, what's our current voice text? So I think we're supposed to reset current voice text at this point. How does current voice text work? Update, okay, so over here I say update voice result. And then that sets that. So I'm going to say this dot current voice text is equal to blank. And so now we're just going to wipe out the current voice text. Now we are at severe risk of getting like the error where it says this changed before that or whatever, and uh error, which is bummer. We might already have it. It wouldn't surprise me. Um, console. But I think the answer is to create a signal that instead of a variable. I think that is. But anyway, so let's get this thing going. Let's say select prompt. Append is good. We like it. I think so. Hello? Okay, that's weird. That's weird, right? Hello? So, got some kind of bug. Hello? Okay, this is wild. So we have some kind of code issue. We see that, oh, you can't see it. So we see that we're getting stuff, but for some strange reason, it's getting wiped out, and I don't know why. I don't know if did we we didn't update it. I do that all the time. Okay. And then this dot clear count is equal to current count. Now let's try it again. Let's turn on the microphone, say select prompt. Hello, how are you? Won't you tell me your name? What is the next line? I'm not sure. What is the second element in the periodic table? All right. Now, it's just for fun. Try this in IE real quick. Let's see. I haven't launched IE in a while. It's not IE, I'm sorry, Edge. Wow, I really aged myself on that one. Let's see. All right, so localhost 4200. And then let's try it again. Hello, how are you? See, I love how it has the capitalization and the question mark. And clear worked. And clear worked. And clear worked. And clear worked. Oh wait, it's off. Oh, I bet you when it reloaded, did it? I don't know. And clear worked. And clear worked. Hello. Hello. So anyways, yeah, I like the way it works, right? So like what is this what is the second element in the periodic table? Okay, that's weird. Why did it turn itself off? What is the second element in the periodic table? So yeah, that was weird. I don't know if I accidentally turned it off or whatever, but this is working properly now, it looks like to me. And see, it is way better, right? Like Edge is way better for this specific thing because it added the capital W and the question mark, right? But that's really good. I think we're done. I think it like select prompt is working perfectly, right? I think it's completely done. I think all we need to do is just like clean out the excess stuff and then shift over to um, prompt or response. And once we have, and that shouldn't take too long. And then, um, and then we'll get create working. And then that's like a whole CRUD, right? Like this is just gonna be all like a whole table underneath here that lets you basically manage these things. It's gonna be like a table, a manage, a card management system. So it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, it's like, we do also need to like have like a way to manually update these, like so that you can type it in instead of that. So we will need to add another button. Actually, let me put that into our README. README, README. There you are. All right. So we got that working. We're done with this. And so, and now we want to work on this green, but we haven't started work on it, so I'm not going to make it purple yet. And then we also want it, what did I just think of? Needed another button over here. Oh, for overwrite. Oh yeah, make it so we can manually edit gather data. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, so tomorrow, so the next session we'll get this, basically get all of this working, um, and then and then for response, and then once we have that done, we'll make it to where you click on it, and I guess this will probably just be like a you'll click that, and then like maybe a text area will show up that has stuff in it like this, and then you can just manually do it, um, and we'll have to we'll have to code that again over here. So we're just like doing duplicate coding in two different places. Um, and it is, I guess, one of those things where it's like you have to walk a mile in the shoe. Maybe you got to walk a mile in the shoes of a bad architecture to appreciate a good architecture. Um, but yeah, so then I'll want to add like a little, like a grid down here. I'll probably want it to be like a mat table. I mean, I kind of wanted to do like AG grid because AG grid is so powerful and so useful, but I just don't. I don't know. I would like to do that, but I think I'd rather just focus on getting this thing done. Um, and then after that, we'll work on the export. And once we have export working, I'll work on the import. And once we have import working, then um, we'll sort of do like an experiment with ChatGPT saying, hey, can you make me one? And then see what it looks like in here. And once that's done, this is sort of like at least version one of this is over. And I'll deploy it somewhere, and then I'll start like an actual like legitimate thing that consumes these and then shows flashcards based on what we consumed. And then when that's done, then I'll probably, and that shouldn't be bad. That should be really simple. And then after that, I wanted to probably do like a, where you have like all the questions on one side and all the answers on the other side. And then you like drag the question to the right answer, and they, sort of get promoted when you do it right. And that would be good. And then after that, it would be cool to have like ca- uh, a crossword puzzle. And and then builder, something that builds crossword puzzles, and then that would be kind of cool. And once that's done, then there's literally a million ways to go from there. And I might want to get into like where it just like you get questions and answers, like the flashcards, and if a multiple choice, and if every time you select a multiple choice, it sort of records like whether it succeeded, whether the person got it right or wrong, and then um, sort of ranks you, so that all that, and like a really good one would be like Angular vocabulary. There's so much Angular vocabulary that would be good to have. Like if I had a really good, solid, like I understood all the vocabulary words of Angular, which there's literally probably thousands of them. I bet you my day to day would be much better than it is. And it's already pretty good, but like it would be really cool if I could just refer to everything with its proper, like there's probably like a proper word for the imported SCSS file. Like this whole concept here, this style URL is like that probably. Oh, so style URL probably has a, well, that's it alone. The there's some words that describe this whole concept on line 20 of importing the component configured style or whatever. So, and then these different change detections and all that, like what is eager change detection? What is, I think there's only two of them. I believe there's only two choices here, eager and on push. So, like what is eager? What is on push? Those would be very useful. Um, Probably some kind of thing of like everything that can go inside of this component decorator, right? There's probably like that's a good question. Like what are the which or maybe what things aren't in the component director or what was added in Angular 22 to the component configuration. What is this thing called? This is called a configuration object, right? Like be able to use all the right words. This up here is called a decorator. Um, Even like where is component, where is routing, where are these different things um, imported from? Another good question might be like in this published service, or I don't know, there's just probably can literally be thousands of vocabulary questions or flashcard questions that if you had them completely grasp, if you had a solid grasp of them, then your ability to speak in a very intelligent way goes way up. And then if you can do that, if you can speak intelligently, your day is a lot better. Um, that's probably like, I've found that the amount of confusion that you spend in a day really directly affects your quality of life. But anyway, so that is it for me today. Next week, let me save this guy here. We will begin basically redoing all of that work that we just did for prompt in response. And then, and that will probably take one session. Then this one will take a session. And then this one will take a session. And then we basically probably have another 10, 20 steps of or managing what we want to export and then managing what we want to import. Um, And this should not be particularly complicated. Like trying to do something very similar for 3GS. That is very, very complex. This is not. It should be pretty straightforward. Um, Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.